Welcome to Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? This is your go-to source for practical advice and support when considering if a divorce is the right answer for you. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll uncover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here is your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hi, and welcome back to day 3 of the Breaking Ties interview series, where we talk with a professional who assists those going through the divorce process and answer many of the common questions you might have. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And with me back again today for day number 3 is Dr. Stephanie Beelendorf. Now, Dr. B is a pediatric and prenatal specialist with Select Health Chiropractic in St. Charles, Illinois, and mine and my kids' personal chiropractor. And we discuss many health and wellness questions over the week here. So if you haven't actually looked at the previous couple days, you want to go back and listen to those because every day is different with Dr. B and the questions are different. So feel free to go back and review those, and then we're going to have a couple more coming up in the future. Welcome back, Dr. B. How are you?
Thank you. I had to laugh a little bit. You are absolutely correct. Every day is different. Coming from a mom of 5.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's not a dull moment in your place, that's for sure.
Well, any parent can relate with that. That's for sure.
Yes, but parenting is one of those things where if you have more, you don't get any cost breaks or any other things.
No benefits. Just stop at one. No.
That's right. There's no value add for more kids.
Hopefully my kids don't hear this.
Yeah, we have 4 big teenage boys roaming through, so it's you just every day is always something different, and it always has some exciting features to it.
You've got the boy clan. I got the girl clan. I don't know. I think.
Oh goodness. So this week we've been discussing many different facets of health and wellness with regards to chiropractic and kids and little kids and divorce and stuff. And so what's interesting though, I think, is there are other services that are available that your practice offers and other things you suggest to do, whether you're going through the divorce process or you're coming out of the divorce process. And so I was interested in kind of learning some of these key pieces that you like to share with people as far as making them more balanced.
Whew, we could do a very, very long segment on this, but let's be real. People have busy lives. So yeah, there's a ton that people can do. And I think I had mentioned in one of our prior talks that really self-care is just huge. And there's not enough of it. People need to spend more time, certainly after divorce, because it's time to care for yourself. So there's some things that our practice offers. There's some things I suggest outside of the practice, and I've got good resources for everything locally. And I hope even if somebody's watching from far away that some of this information would be good for them as well. Number one, and this is not within the practice, we'll start outside of the practice and we'll work our way in. Definitely look for somebody that can maybe put you through some good counseling. That really does help. Everybody needs counseling at some level. It's just a question of when and how much counseling. But that helped me a lot. I actually spent about 5 years through my divorce process, prior to, during, and after my divorce, getting counseling. So that helped me a ton. It helped me work through some things. There's a lot of questions, and I think we alluded to that in one of our prior episodes, but there's a lot of questions that you have, especially in the earlier phases prior to divorce and going through divorce, that pop up along the way. And a lot of times the best result is going inward and really working on yourself. And a good way to do that is through counseling. So I highly recommend that. Morning meditation, affirmations, and writing, journaling So that's another great way to really help work on your inner being and get you through the process before, during, and then, of course, afterwards. And then you can really rediscover yourself. So writing is great. Picking up a new hobby, something that maybe you've always wanted to do, and maybe your ex-husband or ex-wife told you that you were stupid for wanting to do that, right? Ever had that happen? I sure the heck did. So, picking up something that you wanted to try that maybe you were a little bit afraid to try, that gives you kind of a new revival, if you will. So you're becoming a new person, a different person for the better, but you're becoming a new person. So those are some of the things that I did that really seemed to help. I took up some really crazy things like kite surfing, something I always wanted to do. So why not? Kite surfing in Key Biscayne, let me tell you. So that's outside of the practice and things you can do. As far as inside of the practice, we do offer some nutraceutical help. That's just supplementation. Things that help the adrenal glands are particularly good because your adrenal glands are your stress glands. As you can tell, that those are probably really worn after some given amount of time prior to, going through, and after divorce. So we can really help with that. Mineral support. A lot of times when your adrenal glands are stressed, our body just tends to push out some of the minerals. So a good mineral support. So it's case by case. So I can help with that. I spent a few years of the last 15 doing a lot of that. So I have some wherewithal for that. So, and I add that into your wellness program. So that's kind of nice. And then we have something called an M-Sculpt Neo. I actually came across it a few years ago. I was interested after my divorce and my 5th child. I was interested in getting back into shape. I had my 5th baby after the age of 35, and it is much different than the age of 25 or 30. I was considered a geriatric pregnancy, let me tell you. And now I know why they called it a geriatric pregnancy. So I did, I picked this up because I had suffered with diastasis rectus. That's just the separation in your abdominal muscles, whether you have, and this is not just for women, so we'll get to the guy portion of this in just a second, but for the ladies out there that have had either big babies or multiple pregnancies, the ab separation oftentimes will cause some issues over time. I like to lift, so long and short of it is I ended up with a hernia, and so I was looking for natural ways to help with that. The M-Sculpt Neo also reduces fat in the area by 30%, so it's as good as liposuction. So I've done some sculpting sessions on my own abdominal area. It's helped a ton. I've also done my own butt and several people's, and it just makes you feel good, right? You're going back out into the dating world again and all those things. So we've had a lot of, people going through divorce and post-divorce that come in for that treatment as well. And guys can get it too. If you have any, stubborn belly fat, unfortunately, you lucky gentlemen, you guys do a little better than even us ladies. I think it's probably a higher percentage than 30%, because a couple of sessions on that bad boy, and you guys are looking pretty darn good.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right in the sense of, early on, the therapy thing. I mean, I did therapy. I'm a big proponent of talk therapy as well. Just a safe space to share your thoughts, ideas, puzzle through things, and then process and get through stuff as well. And then, yeah, right on as well, as far as exercise and looking different and better, as far as who you want to be and how you want to get there. If there was a magic pill, I'm pretty sure everybody would be taking it, but there's not. So you got to find your right combination of components that work for your body. And so, yeah, fantastic information. I appreciate you sharing that with our listeners.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. This is honestly, it's become one of my passions to help people through this because I've been through it, and it's, whew, you don't really get married thinking that you're going to end up not.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you and I share that. I mean, that's the whole reason I got my divorce certification for a financial analyst, was just to help people through the process and hopefully make it a little better and smoother for them than it was when I went through it, kind of thing.
Sure. Well, you do a great job of it. I mean, I can attest to that. So I've known you for a long time.
Well, thank you. Well, we've made it through another day. So this is going to wrap up the third day of our interview. I want to invite everybody to join us tomorrow as we get into another new topic with Dr. B and some more great information on chiropractic, wellness, and divorce and how it kind of ties together. Dr. B and I would like to thank you for joining us today on this episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. Should you have any questions for Dr. B, we're going to have that over in the description so you can reach out to her and talk to her and chat with her and find out what she can do to give you a hand. Keep in mind, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, we will see you tomorrow. Take care.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? With Mike Fulkerson. For questions, please reach out to Mike via email in the description or give him a shout at 630-444-1410. And remember to subscribe, like, and follow.